Hey friend, I'm glad you're here watching this. So this is the collective Libra season readings. And these are by zodiac signs and elements. So this is how this is going to work. After you see this little intro video, there are 4 different chunks to this video. So first there's air signs, and then there are fire signs, and then we talk about water signs, and then we talk about earth signs. So it is 4 separate videos, but they're all linked together. So you're watching this one video. So if you check out the description below, you'll see the timestamps to where each of the different elements start. So if you want to just skip ahead, you can. I'm going to suggest, if you're seeing this though, that you just watch the whole thing, because there might be collective messages for the other elemental signs that apply to you. And, our charts are all made up of all of the different elements. So I won't give too much of a spiel. Like I said, I gave a little explanation at the beginning of each of the little readings, kind of like how to use the reading. So just be prepared to hear that little spiel at every beginning. And this is for Libra season. And we also, it's still September. And I did a collective reading by signs for September. So if you haven't watched that, also go back and watch that one. Okay. Thanks for being here. Oh yeah, and do that thing where you hit like follow or subscribe or whatever, because every month I'm going to do readings like this at the beginning for what to predict for the whole, like energy for the whole month. And then at the end, when we get to our zodiac season change, I'll do one. So you'll get 2 readings like this month. Okay, thanks, buddy. Bye. Hello, friends. I'm showing my face for these readings this month. Okay, welcome to your mini Libra season readings by zodiac signs. So this is how this works. We're going to do by elements. So depending on which video that you're seeing, you're going to see different elements. So this video is going to be for air elements. So we have Libra, Aquarius, Gemini. So then we're going to have a different one for water, fire, and earth. Okay, so the way that these readings work is, if you want to go by your sun sign, then go by your sun sign. If you want to go by your rising sign, I highly suggest you go by your rising sign too. You should always be listening for your rising sign and your sun sign. And another layer that you can do this is, if you have a specific planet in the sign that I'm talking about, you can relate it to that part of your life. So easy example, Venus, planet of beauty, love, pleasure, right? So say your Venus is in Taurus, well, listen to the earth one. And when you hear me talking about that one, maybe apply that to your love life or the way that you're taking care of your physical body, right? Or if you want to go another level deeper and you know your houses, you could even look at like what rules the house. So anywho, take what you want, leave the rest. If it doesn't resonate, I don't fucking care. It's fine. It's not going to hurt my fucking feelings. So we're going to start with air signs. So this is the reading for Libra season. So you can listen to this any point in Libra season. This is just kind of like the themes of what might come up for you, okay? So again, we have Libra, Aquarius, Gemini. I love this card for you. Okay, first off, we talk about how this is just the sexiest devil card ever. And this is the thing I love about this devil card is, in the traditional tarot deck, we see the devil standing there and he has a man and a woman on each side and they're chained, right? And, the devil card is a card about shadow work, our vices, the things that literally like keep us tied down, keep us in our bad habits. But I love this version because it's this man all sexified and he's just like magically reaching his hand out to you, almost as like a temptation to be like, come back into your bad ways, come back into the shadows, come back into your vices, come back into the shit that no fucking longer serves you. The shit that we think that feels good, but at the end of the day, it makes us feel like this. See that? It's like, think about like the relationship that that's not good in that person, and you get sucked back in and it feels good, and then when it's the 2 days come later and you haven't heard from him again, that's how you feel again. I mean, it could be said it's the same for vices like drinking, right? Or partying or going out. Like, even if you don't have an issue with those things, it's the same idea, right? Like, we're giving into these vices. We're giving into these bad habits. We're giving into these fucking overeating, like whatever it is, right? Scrolling too much on fucking doom talk and letting your brain not feel good. And it's like you get these dopamine hits in the meantime. And then afterwards, you feel like shit, my friends. And so it feels, Libra season is all about balance too, right? It's about harmony. It's about making choices that like bring yourself into like good, solid alignment. And so what is coming up for air signs is be aware of like these temptations coming back to you. You know, in the astrology world right now, things are really slowing down. Like we are just getting out of eclipse season. We still have a little bit of a shadow period. We don't have a bunch of crazy shit in fucking retrograde. We do have some. But you know, it's the equinox. So we're chilling out more, but it's like it feels like there's going to be like quiet temptations to revert back to old habits and people and frames of mind and thoughts. And it feels like they're going to be sneaking back in like in a softer, gentler way. Like, look at this. Like he's about to seduce the fuck out of you. And he's like, I'm magic. It's fine. Come back to me. And this is a major arcana card, right? So major arcana cards, that's big shit, right? And what I hear is like, stop going back to the same fucking pattern. Stop going back to the same pattern. Like, what's that saying about like, what's crazy is like doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result? Like, you know better. You absolutely fucking know better. At this point, most of you know better and you still choose to do it. And then you're like, well, okay. Like, it's like, it's like you almost like getting like, was it masochist or sadist when you enjoy pleasure or you enjoy pain? Where it's like it's like become like so familiar to you that it's almost like you don't even know how to like be happy in like a healthy way. Like it's like you only feel like you get your kick and your joy from like toxic shit. So stop that. Stop that. Air signs for Libra season, Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. That's all. That's all you needed to hear. Okay, bye. It's me again. And brought to my attention that my fire sign reading for Libra season cut the sound off. I hadn't feel any of this eclipse shit until today. I'm getting the shadow of it. So, anyways, here is your fire sign reading for Libra season. So we have Leo, Sagittarius, and Aries. There's 4 of these videos. There's one for each element. Each element has all 3 different signs in it. You can listen to these however you want. You can listen to all of them if you want to. You can listen to one of them. You can say, well, it's on my page. I think I'm just going to tap in, even if it doesn't have to do with what like your big 3 zodiac signs even are. You can listen for your sun sign. We always listen for a rising sign too. You can listen to a specific placement you have in a planet and the energy that that means, or even houses. Okay, so whatever you want to do. And if it doesn't resonate, I don't give a shit. That's awesome. So maybe you heard the beginning of the last one. I'm going to tap back in. I know that some of the same things are going to come up, but obviously there's different messages that need to be coming across for spirit. So from spirit. Fire signs. I feel like I almost said last semester because I'm a college teacher. The monthly reading that we did in September, I feel like something about this kind of might have come up. I don't remember what card it was. I should have looked, but I feel like something about feelings and empathy and emotions. I feel like that kind of came up. Okay, so Libra season is about finding harmony, finding balance, finding peace, right? It's ruled by Venus, which is the planet of beauty and the things that make us feel good, right? It's also the fall equinox, so we're in a transitional phase. You are coming out of your season, right? Summer season is fire season, like Chinese medicine talking, like solstice talking, right? So, like it or not, you have to shift your energy slightly with the seasons if you want to be in tune and connect with the people around you. Okay, so this is how the message is coming through. I study and teach the Enneagram, and I asked one of my teachers once as an 8 wing, like basically like I would say like my head's tingling. I would say, I used to be like, I had to say how I felt. It was like fucking painful. I'm a Leo rising, Aries MC. So it was fucking painful for me not to just say it from my chest, right? Like I had to say it, right? Very fire energy. And she said to me once, she said, if you want people to hear your message, you have to deliver it in a way that they can hear it and understand it. And that's it, right? So it's this idea of like, you're fucking shit up for yourself and you got to get out of your own fucking way. And you have to, if you want people to fucking hear you, you have to be willing to speak to them in a way that they will understand and listen. Period. This isn't a like, oh, I'm going to do, first off, some of you need to grow the fuck up. Like this is a very different message than the first time, but that is like this idea, like it's like this, there's an immaturity to it, right? Of like that this is just how I am and this is just how I talk and people can fucking deal with it if they like it. And then you could be fucking miserable and you can be all alone and stay like that forever. And then wonder why people don't stick around. or you want to act like everybody's a fucking asshole when you act like an asshole to them, and then you just are, they're a mirror back to you, right? Like a lot of y'all are having people mirror shit back to you, and it's almost like you need to get off your high horse. It's like there is some sort of, and this is not very nice how they're saying it in my head, but it feels like some of you need to be knocked down a notch to help yourself, because this bird's eye view that you've put yourself in and how you're looking down on other people and how there is a lack of accountability and responsibility for you making your own messes and you manifesting your own reality and you being a complete co-creator in everything that's in your existence. And you know how we fix this? We can get in touch with our feelings a little bit more, right? Tap into some empathy. You are not dead. You are not cold-hearted. You have feelings. You have fucking feelings, right? The Queen of Cups is the giver in her realm. She's a lover. She's a nurturer. She's a caregiver, right? Like, it feels very much to me that like you need to be exploring this side of you and slowing the fuck down in this season and breathing and like actually looking at how you're participating in these relationships and seeing where you can take it down a notch and have a little more empathy, have a little more slow down. It is so much about they are literally being like, slow down and listen. You know, when she's reversed, this reflection, you know, sometimes I feel like this person gets on your nerves, this over emotional, over giver, over doer, over dumper. Yeah, she gets on a lot of our we get on our own nerves when we act like this, when we act like this. Trust me, we don't want to fucking be like this. Like, this is a mere reflection, right? So there's also the message about like the things they're being reflected back to you. So this is something to, the next time somebody triggers you or you want to call somebody like a here in my head, the next time you want to call somebody a crybaby bitch, I need you to stop and pause and actually figure out like what it is about that person that's triggering you, right? So like when you're annoyed by somebody, spirit is really wanting you to self-reflect on when you get annoyed, when you blow people off, when you're short-tempered, when any of these feelings and emotions that are that aggressive fire energy are coming up. Okay, why? Slow down. Don't just bulldoze past it. Because if you slow down and you self-reflect and you understand why you had that little experience and what you need to learn from it, okay, I can accept that. I can take a breath. We can transition and move on. And then maybe it'll stop happening. If you want these same experiences to stop being drawn to you, you have to deal with them. They're not going to go away. It's just going to keep fucking coming back. You are the common denominator. And I say that with love and grace because my chart is not my fart. My chart is led by fire. That was me mixing fire and chart. My chart is led by fire. I hear you, spirit. Okay, love you. Bye. Hello. This is the Libra season reading for water signs that I recorded already. That didn't have sound. Apparently, spirit wanted a different message. So here we are. The same card, doing it again. So if this is the first video you have seen, these are mini Libra season readings and they are done by elements. So these are water signs. So this is Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. I already have recorded and posted fire signs. So how this works is you can watch for your sun sign, you can watch for your rising sign, you can pick any planet and what that planet is about, and read and listen for the sign in that, and then pertain it to that. So if you want to know about like your love life, maybe listen to whatever your Venus sign is in. And if you want to get even further, you can look into houses. So see what sign rules the house, see what that house is about. Maybe pick, your house about finances in the home, and then listen to the reading for that. And so you can kind of see like what the energy might be. So how this works is you can also just listen to all the readings and take whatever messages you want. Or you can be like, none of that makes sense to me. Okay, but this specifically is for water signs or water placements, Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. And like I said, we already did this once, so we're going to do it again, and we're going to see it's a little bit different this time. So our card is the High Priestess. So The message that I was kind of getting earlier with this, and it's going to be on the same path, but it's just going to be delivered in a different way, is this idea of the connection with our higher self, right? So, our higher self is our intuition. It is what shows us when we're in alignment. It is what speaks to us. It is like our radar for everything, right? Like it is the connection that we have with spirit. Like that is like our higher self. So, the idea of like when you're walking out of the house and you forget something and you're like, oh, you know what I mean? Like, oh, wait a minute, my keys or whatever, and you run back in. Ideally, like that's like you being in alignment with like your higher self, like connecting with you. Um, a lot of people give grace to like spirit in the spiritual world. They say thank you spirit or thank you universe. And this idea that's kind of coming through is that remembering that like that is actually us. Like that is our higher self like doing that work for ourselves. And there's something about needing like more credit due for the power that you have in your own life and recognizing not it's not about recognizing that the good things that are happening to you because you manifested them or the bad things are because you've put them on your path. It's more this idea of understanding like your blessings, your abilities, your alignment, that's the way that things kind of unfold for you. Like it's because you're in alignment with your higher self and like you're doing that work. It's not coming from an outside source, right? So it's not an outside source or an outside entity or angels or guides or whatever the fuck you want to call it that's like intervening and making these great things happen in your life. It is your higher self being in alignment with where you're supposed to be that is allowing these things to flow in. Okay. That's completely different than the message that I got from this card earlier that did not get recorded. But I am going to speak to that message earlier because something needs to be said about that. There is a huge difference between following your intuition and listening to your fear or your past trauma. And the way that you know the difference is how it feels in your body. Because intuition, in connection with our higher self, feels good, feels steady, feels grounded, feels calming. It's not scary, it's not anxious, it's not criticizing, it's not placing blame, it's not assuming that people fucking hate you. That's anxiety, that's trauma. So you get ghosted by somebody and then you're talking to somebody and they don't text you back for half a day and you start to get that gut feeling and you're like, oh, I know it's my intuition telling. No, it's not. That's your anxious attachment style. Okay. Now, if it's a calm feeling, there's a shift in energy. This just feels different. I think this is what's happening. There is a huge difference between those two. Okay. So, in this Libra season that is coming up, where we are supposed to be finding balance and harmony, and we have this equinox where we're starting to move into stillness and move into change, you need to be looking at when you're getting these feelings and where they're coming in, and first taking accountability for everything in your life, the good, the bad, the ugly, and knowing that you have the power and stop giving your power away to the outside sources or thinking that you like have to have some sort of outer source like intervening to like, I'm not talking about people like I believe in God, right? To me, God is the ruler of the universe. When I say spirit, I'm including God, angels, ancestors, you know, fucking elementals, fairies, everything. Like spirit is like everything combined, but your higher self, like you are part of spirit, right? I don't know the exact Bible quote, but for those of you that lean that way a little more, like, Bible literally talks about like how God is within all of us and like a part of all of us. It's the same fucking thing. Okay. Um, that, I don't know. There's just something about this idea of like the sitting in the power and like, having this like more like strength and security that's like coming in. There's a groundedness that needs to be coming in and this more like confidence. The world is in weird energy and shambles right now, and for water signs who are very intuitive and feel a lot of feelings, and it takes a really hard time to differentiate between other people's feelings and your feelings, right? The collective feelings and your feelings, the energy of the room or your own feelings, right? So really finding that balance right now and leaning into that energy. No, eclipse season is calming down. We just had our final eclipse. We still have a few days of it. Don't have anything hardcore in retrograde like we did earlier this summer. Um, there's just something about being really taking time to be grounded, being in the body, listening to our higher self, listening to a calming voice, right? Not letting fear and anxiety lead you in this season, and not letting other people drag you into their storms, and really checking in with yourself when you're feeling any sort of anxiety or energy shift or change or just unwellness or unstillness in your body, and grounding. And there's just an extra hardcore need right now to be connecting with your higher self and detaching energetically from the collective and from other people, and like finding your way back to self. It was very different than the last time I read it. Okay, love you. Bye. This is a Libra reading for Earth signs. Okay, so this is a mini reading for Libra season for Earth signs. So Capricorn, Virgo, and Taurus. There are 4 of these readings. So there's one for each zodiac sign. If you've already heard one, you're going to hear the same thing again. You can look at your sun sign. You can look at your rising sign. You can look at a specific planet and the energy that that planet is about and what sign you have in that. You can do the same thing for your houses, or you could just listen to listen. You can listen to all of them. You can listen to one of them. You can take whatever resonates. You don't have to take all of it. But if you randomly saw this, then you probably need to hear something that I'm going to say. Also, it's interesting because the last 2 readings that I posted, the water signs and this earth signs, I had to record twice because the sound. So it's almost like spirits wanting me to hear the first reading for myself and the next one for you guys. So anyways, earth signs. This is the world card. Okay. There was a very important message that came up when I just tried to record this that I'm going to start with. And so this is the idea that earth signs do not realize how much other people depend on their energy for grounding and stability. So energy vampires, right? Most people know what energy vampires are. They make you feel tired from being around them. They suck all your energy. They drain you. They use all your energy. Whatever, Google energy fucking vampires. That typically happens more, we feel like, to water signs for like emotional support. Honestly, air signs get it a lot too because they're like fun, right? So people kind of like suck on that fun energy. Same with fire signs, right? Like they put off this energy and it like draws people in. Earth signs, I don't think get the credit, and I don't think you realize how much people like, it's like they put an energetic loop into you and they depend on your grounding and your supportedness and the fact that you get shit done and that you're reliable, right? And so it really feels like in this upcoming season, all these people that have been the people that have been depending on you in situations where you feel like you're carrying more weight than other people, it feels like it's the end of a cycle and it's going to start to go away. It's going to start to like loosen up. It's going to start to let go. Like maybe your needy friend who's always relying on you, like their fucking ex comes back and you're like, you know what? I didn't think you should have been with him anyways, but thank fucking God. Because you can go talk to them all the time instead of talking to me, right? Or it's like your boss at work that just doesn't do what they're supposed to do, like literally like is like goes on some sort of leave or changes departments, and somebody comes in and like the structure is going to change in work, and it's going to be like, wow, now I can actually just do my job and not have to be like the emotional support coworker to everybody bitching about this person not doing their job, right? So it feels like there's a breath of fresh air coming for earth signs. I feel like in the September reading, maybe earth signs had a very similar message where it was like a really beautiful reading. But when I see this card, even if it's not something that I want to end, I always feel good about it because the whole, oh, did you see that light come on in the back? So whatever I just said, then Spirit was like, yeah, that's important. That's my plant light. When I see this card, it reminds me that a cycle is complete. The journey of the Fool in tarot, we go through that journey over and over again. Bitch, you can go through that journey in a fucking day. Like, you can go through it in a week. You can go through it in a month. That is the cycle of life. Like, we start over at the Fool, at the 0. We go through the journey of the tarot, and then we get to the end, and we've learned our lessons, and we've grown from it, and then we start afresh again, right? And so it feels like a big, fresh start is coming in this season, right? And leaning into harmony and balance, and like it's almost like this idea of like, okay, we have a very, very, very fresh start right now, not just with Libra season. It's with eclipse season coming to an end. It's with the fall equinox, right? It's like this transition. We're settled into school. Like we are like now like in this position of transition, and you have energy supporting you, or signs, to really say like, how how do I want to gracefully let things stay where they are? How do I want to gracefully say my piece and let things go that I know are done, that I'm done with? And how do I want to peacefully and with harmony and alignment with who I am? How do I really want to step forward into this next season, into these next few months, right? And so there's this idea of like consciously letting things go and letting people go and letting the need, not necessarily the need to fix, but like this need to be like responsible for other people. And it's like letting it in. There's this idea of like unburdening yourself of other people's burdens and the collectives, right? And doing it in a way that honors yourself and that is not selfish. It's not mean, it's not spiteful, it's not, we don't owe anybody anything type energy, right? It's just like, no, like I'm gonna like really wrap things up right now and cut the ties and cut loose ends and like just end things that are no longer serving me in a peaceful, joyous way, knowing that I'm ready to move on to like the next step and the next energy shift, right? Like, life is we have the opportunity every single day to wake up and start afresh. That whole like I'll start next week thing, like, no, you can do it every day, you can do it every moment, you can do it every hour. So it feels like, this is the beginning of a cycle that's like the next like 3 months, right? So think about what energy do you want to move forward into this next season that's pushing you towards the holidays and towards the end of the year? What things do you want to carry with you? What people, what relationships? Where can you just, with gratitude, send things love and peace and move on from them with harmony and grace because they're not in alignment with you? And we're not going to be angry about it. We're not going to be sad about it. We're just going to like make peace with it. It's a very strong message that keeps going through. It's making this idea of like just making peace with it and letting it go and having gratitude for everything that it taught you. Look at her. Maybe connect with spirit a little more. I love this, how she's looking up. Okay, bye.